We are going to CanJam, New York City.
We hope they're going to.
Hopefully they're going to.
Could be.
The 22nd it starts, and we are very excited. We have the same room we had last year, so a very similar setup.
Slightly hidden.
Slightly hidden a little bit. Yeah. Follow the arrows. We'll put arrows on the floor.
We learned that in
yeah.
SoCal.
Well, we have a lot of equipment. Yes. I'm very excited to talk about it. Curating these equipment stations has been a lot of fun. So
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Our first station is this big bad boy, Samuels B21 Raider, named after the not yet released replacement to the B2 bomber.
That's right.
You can't see it too good, but I'll tip it up. You can kind of see the imagery there on the marketing. So very cool though. We've had it in office for a few weeks. Way too much power.
Very powerful, yes.
It's a very authoritarian amplifier.
It is, yes, for sure.
So
I mean, he's selling these now, even though it's not live on his website, so I know you can reach out and get one, but we were mainly listening to it with the 1266.
Yeah, because it seems way overkill for a Diana, you know. So
yeah, I mean, it still sounded good with Diana.
It still works fine.
Yeah, I mean, we're barely able to get out low gain.
Yeah,
it's got so much.
Yeah, we just use low gain on it.
Yeah, and he did send us an X9000 to try with it, and that was also excellent too.
Yes, it has an electrostatic amp.
Yeah, did you know that E-Stats can have lots of bass?
I've heard it before. Yeah. It's a rare feat, but it is possible. And this is an unusual amplifier in the fact that it does have a very high-end dynamic, planar, whatever, high-power standard output, as well as an electrostatic output.
Like 4,000 volts it can get to, I think, in the high gain stages. So that's a lot. But yeah, I've heard E-Stats be bassy, and normally it's just rattles like crazy, but I mean, it was actually controlled, so that was...
Yeah, it was like, oh, it's actually... I remember, it's like, it's actually doing bass.
It's actually
okay, cool.
And with the 1266, I mean, it's fantastic. He's told us that he tuned it with it, but once we got it in-house and plugged in, it was obvious that it had been tuned specifically for the 1266.
It sounds 1266-ish.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Lots of space, lots of detail, lots of bass, supreme control over the driver. Really, really great setup. So, and we're pairing that with the Lena DAC. And it's, I know that whether cables make a difference or not is a thing, but at least we found we were able to tune it with our cables to really get it to the best we could get. So,
and of course, the 1266 is going to be the headphone we have plugged into this.
Yes, so that station will be a 1266 station for sure.
And as per usual in the show, people will be bringing Dianas over and trying it on this too. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but,
Yeah, we're probably gonna leave it on low gain.
Yeah,
because I don't want someone walking in with their E-Stat and plugging it in and starting a fire.
That's the other thing. Yeah,
that would really slow the whole show down for everybody. Yeah. So, because that's a lot of voltage. The second station, which we don't have the amp here, is for Diana DZ, and that's the WA24. So Woo Audio said they're going to get us a 24.
That's nice. We didn't have one when they first came out. They only had like one.
Well, we shared the room with them in SoCal.
So there was one by us, but we never had one ourselves. So first time actually with one.
Did either of you have a chance to listen to it?
Not really. No, that's the thing. Really. There was always people at it. Yeah. So, I never had a chance really.
I went in early on Sunday and spent some time with it. And it sounds like a WA23 upscaled a notch beyond the WA23.
Which makes sense because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Which is like a thick 23,
Yeah. And we're pairing that with the Ferrum Wandla GSE. So we have the Hypsos with it, which doesn't seem to make too much of a difference with the DAC, but we'll have it there.
Yeah.
And that way the WA24 gets its full due. So... the next station we have is a vintage station,
which we normally don't do, but
no, old stuff can still sound good.
Right.
You haven't seen one of those in a minute.
Yeah.
You guys are substantial. I love the sound of that amp. It's one of my favorite amps, but you guys are way more familiar with it.
Oh yeah. But it's been sitting. This is the same one we showed with years and years ago, but we brought it out of storage.
They're a little rare now. Yeah. It is among my most favorite amplifiers ever. It is the original Cavelli Audio Liquid Gold.
Yep.
There was a subsequent version that I believe is still for sale. That's very different than that, but similar circuitry from what I understand.
Yeah, it's a little finicky. Has some like piezoelectric
Yeah,
power
yeah,
button.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
won't turn on until the stars align and it's ready.
Yeah, it takes its time.
But yeah.
But yeah, I remember asking Alex, it's like, why is it the button so hard to use, the power button? He's like, oh, it sounds better, so I'm using it. It's like, I don't care about if it's hard to turn on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I hear lots of cool stories about Alex, about how his design was no compromises.
Yeah, yeah.
It was exactly the way he thought it should be. If it was a little harder to use, so what? It was better. So so I'm very excited to have that and share that with the audio community. I hope everyone stops by and gives it a chance. Right now, we were planning on pairing that with the Hollow Audio Cyan 2 DAC, which we have here. Phenomenal value DAC for the sound. Also, a little utilitarian in its function.
Yeah.
You know, no inputs, no preamp,
yeah,
no,
right.
no input button.
Yeah,
stuff like
no
that.
button.
Yeah. But sounds really cool.
Yeah.
However, we may end up switching up some of these DAC pairings because
It
we
is
keep having
possible.
things pop up.
Yeah,
We're like, oh,
yeah.
we're going to have this amp. we're gonna have
Last
this one,
minute
so-
changes. Yeah.
It'll be there plugged into something.
It'll be
though,
there, yeah.
for sure. And everybody's going to be excited to hear Joel, we're
Right,
assuming.
right.
So we're planning on 4 stations with Joel, and Joel sounds great on the Liquid Gold, so we'll have that. The next station we have is another kind of throwback. I don't know how long the WA7 has been out.
A little bit.
It's been a while. Well,
It's a
yeah,
third generation, but-
so yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
So, but it looks great.
Yeah,
It presents
it's nice and
incredibly
small,
well. The big-
compact. It's easy to take to the show.
yeah. So we'll
Doesn't
have
take up much desk space / show space, so it's good.
Yeah, we'll have a spot dedicated to that. I do get questions still on the WA7. I guess a number of people own one, and they're consistently asking us, how one of our headphones sound on it. So,
Yes.
so you can figure out how Joel sounds on your WA7, which is actually really good. So, a lot of volume for sure. Another station 5 is going to be another Joel station, and we're going to bring our tried and true 11 audio, Broadway, and KDAC.
The classic.
The classic.
Yeah.
And you can all, everyone who visits can test changing the volume on the DAC
Oh,
and the
yeah,
amp,
yeah,
which
yeah.
we just talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they both have different volume controls. But yeah, that's what we use to tune in-house.
Yep.
So if you want to hear what we hear.
Yeah, now the problem with that is people are going to be changing the volume on both of them, so we're going to have to keep checking in on it to make sure, because it's going to come up where someone's going to be like, there's no volume. Oh, it's because someone lowered the DAC volume all the way.
Yeah. At least 2 of us at this table have an OCD for that, and we'll
Oh, yeah.
check that constantly the entire show. So
Yes.
how's the Joel sound on the Broadway, do you think?
Actually, I didn't use it much. I used the Formula S more, actually.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, we had all, that's
For-
the thing.
for
'cause
tuning
it
the
was
Joel.
for this.
Yeah.
This was happening,
we were
getting
going
all
through
this
that.
together, so yeah.
Yeah.
Less than usual.
So that'll be for us too. The 6th station is a late arrival, the Orchard Audio Valencia. We have a prototype here from Zeos, from his channel Z Reviews, and it's really good.
Yep. We got it and we're like, can we use this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm not sure on the retail because the product page is password protected, and I didn't
This
get all the
is- so yeah,
details
it's
and stuff.
technically
So
not out, and this is a prototype. So.
yeah, I don't want to talk about the value and whatnot,
Yeah.
but just from our early impressions with the 1266 is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of the amp is that you feed whatever source you feed it, it will power. So you can bring the sound to the amp.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably have it with the WA22 as a preamp.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. That was our favorite setup, but we'll spend the next few days tuning
Yeah, we
that
just
later.
got it today, so yeah.
Yeah, but so we'll have that. I think it'll be the only one at this show. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't know
Probably.
who we'll have if
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
another one.
this one says prototype 2 on it, so
Yeah.
there's probably not many of them.
I've also seen one that wasn't black. That was
Wow.
bare metal. So I know that another one at least does exist. I don't know where that'll be, but so all the Zeos fans should stop by and and have a listen on that. But we'll definitely have the Joel on that because it sounds incredible. So and then we're gonna have our last station will be a mobile station. It won't have a source. We need everyone to bring their phone or their DAP or whatever, and there's
Which
going to be a few
everybody
different.
usually does.
They do,
Yeah.
yes, and you'll have a few different things to plug into. The first thing we'll have is the Woo Audio Tube Mini with the power base.
Right.
So, and that was really popular at SoCal.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's always surprised how big of a difference that power base makes. And yeah, it's like, yeah, it really elevates it.
Yeah, tubes could really use consistent power delivery, and phones are surprisingly bad at giving power to things.
Usually, yeah.
And then we also have our iFi Go Blue, which right now it's complimentary with an MR purchase. So if someone gets an MR, so if you're thinking about getting an MR, it's a good time to
You could hear both.
to hear what we have. And then we also have this, which is a little different. It's not mobile specifically, but the iFi Neo IDSD2, and it might also be a performance edition. I'm not sure. But that'll also be with the MR, and this is basically a Go Blue, but with way more power.
Right. Well, and all the inputs and outputs. That you need.
And all the features and everything like that. X Space and X Space. Make sure you hit those buttons because they do make a huge difference and they work well with the MR. So we'll have that at that station too, and that will also be our pad rolling station. This time we are definitely going to remember to bring one set of every one of our pads.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what happened in SoCal.
And people can hear the difference between all of the pads. It takes a second to switch them out, and especially on like the iFi Go Blue, it's a huge difference immediately. So should be very easy to hear the difference of the pads. And then the last one, which we only were able to look at on the website, it was the Amp and Sound Kenzie integrated. Very last minute, he reached out to me and said, hey, I happen to have your headphone in the shop and had it with a Kenzie, and it sounds really good.
Yeah.
I'll be in New York City. Can I bring a Kenzie? So, yes, absolutely, Justin. You can bring one. We'd love to hear it.
Yep.
So we don't know anything about it.
Right.
How it sounds.
It's just going to show up.
Yeah.
And same thing happened with him in SoCal. He just showed up.
Red
Here's
October.
the amp. And then at the end of the show, he's like, all right.
Presumably, this one's dramatically less heavy.
Well, yeah, that one's 100 pounds.
Yeah. This one looks like a very fancy bottlehead.
Yeah.
So should be cool to hear at least with our stuff. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's CanJam. Are you guys excited? Getting hyped up?
Yeah. So it's at least a lot closer than California.
We haven't had a lot of impressions with our new headphone Joel just yet because it started shipping at the time of recording like a day ago. So hopefully at this show we get a lot of people through the seats, try the headphones on all this different gear, see how people feel about it.
Yeah, I hope that people stop and tell us right then too. I would love the feedback personally. So hopefully we get impressions on the sound and the comfort and how it looks. We'll be there. We'll be busy, but stop us and tell us. We'll have 4 Joels there. You can handle them in your hand, and tell us what you think. So very, very excited. Very excited to be there with you guys and meet all of you. And make sure you stop by the URIS room. We're right off to the left when you walk in. February 22nd and 23rd, New York City Marriott, Manhattan. Be there.